Greetings students, welcome back to my class. Students, so far we have done 4 paragraphs of the first part of third chapter. Two stories about flying, and the first part name is his first flight, and we have done 4 paragraphs of the first flight. Now it's time to do the fifth paragraph. But before we start the fifth paragraph, I would like to tell you the brief summary of the third and fourth paragraphs which we did yesterday. In the third and fourth paragraph, we see that when one day passed and the young seagull saw that nobody came to him and asked him and offered him any food, so he pretended that he was sleeping so that somebody in his family will notice, but nobody noticed him, only his mother noticed him. And after seeing, the young seagull saw that his mother is eating fish, and then this scene maddened him, and he started crying so that his mother would give some food to him. But mother shouted at him in a very angry mood, and then after a minute or so, he thought that his mother is coming to him and will give him food. His mother started flying nearer to him, but then after reaching near to him, she stopped, and then he was shocked. And why did she stop? And because he was so hungry, and he became mad due to the hunger, so he thought that he can take that piece of fish in her mother's beaks, and he dived with forgetting that he was not able to fly, and he never ever never ever had any kind of fly in the air in his life. He dived, then he realized that he dived and there is no earth under his feet, and he is going outwards and upwards. Then for a moment he was freezed, he was seized due to the terror, and he thought that he is going to die, but that lasted only for a minute. Then he spread his wings and started flying. He was very happy when he was feeling the air passing through, hitting his all over the body, wings, stomachs, all part of his body. Then he dived, he soared, he flew very high in the air. Then he was very happy, and his family, when they saw, first mother, then father, they passed over him, and they were screaming. Then his brothers and sister also joined him, and the whole family was appreciating his flight, his effort of flying, and they were very happy, they were celebrating his flying. Now we'll start the fifth paragraph. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and commended himself to dive, soar and curve, shrieking shrilly. Then he completely forgot that he was never ever been able to fly, and then he commended here means he praised himself, खुद की तारीफ करना. He praised himself to dive, to jump, लगाना, गोता लगाना समुद्र में, to soar means to fly high in the air, and curve, making taking different positions in the air, flying straight and then moving your body sideways, that taking curves. So, and shrieking shrilly means he started shouting with happiness. Shrieking, he was very happy, and he started shouting, and he commended himself, he praised himself. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it. Now he was close to the sea, and he was without any facing straight out over the ocean, without any hesitation, without any fear. He was just flying straight over the sea, and he was so happy. He saw a vast green sea beneath him. When he was flying over straight over the sea without any hesitation and fear. He just looked down and he saw a vast green sea beneath him with little ridges moving over it. Ridges here means wave, lehrein. And when he saw the vast green sea beneath him, he also saw the waves moving over it, waves moving over it, and he turned his beak sideways and cawed amusedly. Then he turned his beak towards one side and with happiness, he made the sound of crow. He started and he with happiness started making the sound of crow. काय काय कौवे की आवाज़ निकालने लगा वो खुशी के मारे. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on this green flooring ahead of him. His family already, his parents and his two brothers and sister, they already landed on that green ocean which was looking like a floor. So they landed before him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. They were, with happiness. Then they were shouting. They were calling him, making a loud noise. Shrilly means unpleasant noise. So they were very happy and they landed on that green sea, and it was looking like a floor. They landed before him and they started calling him with making a lots of noise. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. He thought that this is a green floor where he can stand. So he landed his both legs to stand. He tried to stand. His legs sank into it, but that was water, so his legs sank into it. वो उसमें डूब गए. He screamed with fright. Fright here means fear. He screamed with fear. वो डर के मारे चिल्लाया and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. And he thought that he was sinking. He shouted because due to fear, and then he tried to rise again by flapping his wings. He tried to fly again by making a movement of his wings, but he was tired and weak with hunger. लेकिन वो भूख से वो थका हुआ था and कमज़ोर हो चुका था भूख से. And he couldn't rise. So वो उड़ नहीं सका, ऊंचा उठ नहीं सका. He was tired. He became weak due to the hunger, and because of this, so he couldn't raise. Exhausted by the strange exercise, so he couldn't rise again because he was so tired, and he became weak due to that strange exercise. So he was not able to fly again. His feet sank into the green sea. His both feet sank into the green sea, went inside the water, and then his belly touched it. Then his part of his stomach touched it, and he sank no further. And after that, he did not go, he did not sink further. उससे ज़्यादा पहले उसके पैर डूबे, फिर उसका पेट टच हुआ पानी से, and then he did not sink into further. उसके आगे वो नहीं डूबा, वहीं पे रुक गया, because he was a seagull, जो समुद्र में तैर भी सकते हैं. He was floating on it. Floating here means swimming. He was swimming on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. And when he was swimming on that sea water, his family was all around him. They were very happy. They were praising him. They were shouting and praising him, and they were offering him food through their beaks. They were offering him dogfish, and he made his first flight. So the young seagull had made his first flight. So student, that was it. This chapter, first part of this chapter is completed. In the next video I'm sending an assignment, and there will be few questions you have to answer, so be ready to do that assignment. Thank you.